Okay. Good evening, everyone. Let's begin the class for today. So you know that we are studying about advertising in paper number 2, and we have studied about the basics of advertising, like the definition, concepts, and ethics that we should follow. Now let's try to understand that what all theories are there, because you know that we are mass communication students, and there are a lot of mass communication theories that we relate to each and every thing. Okay. One of the few theories that relates to advertising are IDA model. We have studied that. Diffusion of innovation, I would say. There is Dagmar theory. Okay, so these are some of the theories that relates to the process of advertising. Okay, so let's study that. The first and the foremost model that we are going to study is IDA model, AIDA. It was given by Elmo Lewis in 1898. Okay, what is the full form? The full form is attention, interest, desire, and action. So you can see it's given in a particular manner. It is given in a particular sequence. पहले क्या होता है? An advertisement attracts attention. ठीक है, you saw कि oh, my favorite heroine is there in that advertisement. Let me see what new she's doing today. Then the advertisement tried to grab your attention, and finally when it awakens the interest perspective of yours, that how with some of the factors, by showing that research have proved that using this particular product will increase the length of your hair, and then there's a desire in your heart that oh, let's purchase it. I have curly hair, let's try if this particular shampoo works on my curly hair, and then finally you took action टू परचेज दैट प्रोडक्ट. ठीक है, सो आइडा मॉडल में आपको एक पूरा प्रोसेस बताया गया है कि किस तरीके से एडवर्टाइजमेंट जो है इट मेक श्योर दैट दे आर लीडिंग टू यू इन अ पर्टिकुलर मैनर. एक्शन, इंटरेस्ट, डिजायर एंड एक्शन. सॉरी, अटेंशन, इंटरेस्ट, डिजायर एंड एक्शन. सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि ये चारों आइडा की आपको फुल फॉर्म याद रहे, क्योंकि यूजीसी नेट में ऐसे क्वेश्चंस देखे गए वेयर दे आर आस्किंग द फुल फॉर्म ऑफ व्हाट इज द फुल फॉर्म ऑफ डी in IDA model, or what is the full form of A in IDA model. Okay, this is a linear communication and consumer decision making model. Okay, the purpose is to describe the stages a consumer go through before making a purchase of a decision. Very simple model. Where it is used widely in advertising, copywriting, digital campaigns, and sales strategies. Why? Because अगर इस मॉडल को ध्यान में रख के we will try to make a particular ad, there are chances that it can turn into sales as well. ठीक है? So let's study deeply about the stages of IDA model. The first one is attention. The goal here is to make the consumer notice the message of brand. Just the way I told you कि उन्होंने कोई आपका favorite brand ambassador ले लिया, या फिर they used a very peppy song जिसने आपका attention grab किया, या फिर some kind of offer that made you तुरंत incline towards the particular thing. ठीक है? The technique can be bold headlines, eye catching visuals, celebrity endorsements, colors, jingles, etc. ठीक है? तो it can also be like हमारे YouTube पे होते हैं ना, YouTube वीडियो पे there is this thing called clickbait, कि जितना अच्छा आपका टाइटल रहेगा उतना ज्यादा चांसेस बढ़ेंगे उस YouTube वीडियो पे क्लिक होने के. It's something like that. One of the example can be a bright red sale banner on a website. You must be watching that there are a lot of brands like Hyphen and all the other skincare brands. So they are using different and poppy colors, ठीक है, ताकि वो आपका attention grab करे and finally आप उससे उससे purchase कर सको. Then बात आई interest की. So engaging the consumer by providing relevant information or relatable content. I gave you this example yesterday also. So पहले तो केवल जो skincare brands थे, they used to just say कि आप लगाओ, आपको it's a sunscreen, it will protect you from UV sun rays. But what are the brand doing now? Because they know the consumer is very very aware because of the invention of social media and because of the invention of AI. So the consumer is very much aware कि ये पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट अगर मेरे ये पर्टिकुलर इंग्रेडिएंट्स मेरे प्रोडक्ट में रहेंगे, सो द प्रोडक्ट विल स्टैंड आउट फॉर श्योर. ठीक है, सो दैट्स व्हाई दे ट्राई टू इनकलकेट कि वो इंग्रेडिएंट्स की उसमें डिटेल्स डाले, दैट आल्सो कैचेस एन इंटरेस्ट. ठीक है, टेक्निक इज इंगेजिंग कॉपी, यूनिक फीचर, स्टोरी टेलिंग और इन्फ्लुएंसर ओपिनियंस. ठीक है, इन्फ्लुएंसर ओपिनियन वी ऑल नो दैट ट्राइंग टू एडवर्टाइज योर प्रोडक्ट विद द हेल्प ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंसर. एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स आपके एड में अगर कोई स्टोरी टेलिंग का प्रोसेस आ गया तो और ही ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग हो जाती है चीजें. So for example, a product video that explains benefit in a relatable way, in which you are able to relate yourself. Okay. The next is the desire. The goal is to transform interest into want by for the product or service. ठीक है? For example, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Okay, the goal is to transform interest into a want or a product or service. The technique, it can be emotional, it can be benefit focused messaging, social proof like review or testimonials. वो एक ad आता है ना, this dentist wala ad jisme they show that there is a dentist. There are dentists that comes into that ad and says that ये particular toothpaste use करोगे तो बहुत अच्छा रहेगा, something like that. ठीक है? And then what is the example? Testimonial showing how the product improved consumer life. Then comes the action. उसका goal क्या रहता है? To drive the consumer to take a specific action like purchase, subscribe or click. ठीक है? The technique is very strong. That is CTA. Buy one get one offer. ठीक है? If you will purchase this, you will get handwritten, sign of MS Dhoni. So this is what these are some of the action CT any call to action words होते हैं. Buy now, book your free trial or add to cart. So these are some of the CTA that enables you to finally purchase the product. Just a minute. Sorry for this. Yes, so then let's understand कि AIDA model की applications क्या होती है advertising में. So for example, if we take print media first, so headlines to grab attention, body copy to build interest, desire, coupon, CTA for action. ठीक है, print media में what is the role that these particular AIDA model, अगर हम उसको focus करके ads को analyze करें तो what role did they play? Digital advertising की बात करें, so there are funnels in performance marketing, for example, Google ads and Facebook ads that enables you to make sure that the consumer is clicking on the buy now option. Then influencer marketing, influencers generate attention and trust, building interest and desire, leading to follower action. They also give their coupon code so that the consumer is having these coupon code and they apply that और वो action ले लेते हैं. Then content marketing की बात करें तो blog post and email series that walk the consumer through AIDA stages. Now, the next model that we are going to study is the hierarchy of effects model. Okay, it was proposed by Robert J. Levidage and Gary A. Stenger in 1961. Okay, the purpose was to explain the stages a consumer passed through in response to advertising. Okay, from initial awareness to actual purchase. It is almost similar to AIDA only, but इन्होंने एक different psychological perspective से समझाया है that how a consumer is unable to make that final purchase with the help of advertising. Advertising influences consumer through three stages. The first one is cognitive. That is the thinking stage that you are thinking, should I buy, should I buy, should I buy, or should I buy not? Then the feeling, यार ले लेती हूँ हर बार, I procrastinate and I do not buy this product, आज ले लेती हूँ. And then finally cognitive, that means doing and action taking. Okay, so this is the hierarchy of effects, that this is how your mind plays, or the advertisers rather play with your mind. Then these are some of the stages of the hierarchy of the effect model. That is, the first one is cognitive, where awareness happens. Consumer become aware of the brand or the product for the first time. Then knowledge, learns more about the brand, features, benefit, or the purpose. Like we want to purchase a brand. So let's say there is a brand which is trending called Mokobara. So we got this awareness. हमने Instagram पे एक ad देखा in which influencer is holding that particular bag, and we thought कि अच्छा ऐसा भी एक brand होता है. Then उसके बाद we saw different और YouTube videos, we saw different more Instagram videos, seeing that Mokobara कितने लोग use कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, उसके बाद में there is a stage of effectiveness, that means आपकी liking develop हुई, ये liked that कि you try to develop an emotional connection. Wow, bag कितना functional है, and I've been using my bag since a long time, I need to change my bag. Then preferences, you start comparing and start favoring the brand over competitors. So जैसे ही अगर आप Instagram पे एक बैग को scroll कर लेते हो, तो you get to see a lot of other bags ads also. ठीक है, and finally you thought that conviction में मतलब आपको believe हो जाता है कि yes, now it's the time I need to take that bag. Then, and the final stage come, that is cognitive, in which you finally purchase the app. That is, you take action, you buy subscription, you sign up, or you visit the store. All right. So this is what this was hierarchy of effects model. Now coming to the most important model of advertising is DAGMAR. ठीक है, DAGMAR की अपनी एक full form होती है, that is defining advertising goal for measured advertising results. ठीक है. Please remember this particular full form because it is very important from the perspective of exam. Defining advertising goals for measured advertising results. It was proposed by Russell Coley in 1965 to set clear measurable communication objective for advertising campaign. ठीक है, इसमें आप बहुत precisely you define advertising goals. Advertising goals तो खैर सबके ही similar होते हैं, to increase the sale or to convert into sale. ठीक है, what is the core idea? The core idea here is advertising should not just aim for general persuasion. It should move the consumer step by step towards a clearly defined action with each stage measurable. So for example, I gave you this example of bag. So do you think ये मेरे दिमाग की खुद की उपज थी कि मुझे मोकोबारा लेना है, कि मुझे एक बैग की जरूरत है और मेरा बैग पुराना हो गया है? It is the other way around. Even the brand figured out that I am searching for bags. I am searching for more and more bags. So a lot of bag brands try to reach me out through Instagram ads or through Facebook ads. So it's the other way around. अगर मुझे एक भी बैग पसंद आया, तो इनकी स्टेजेस क्या होती है? दे ट्राई टू इवैल्यूएट इन ईच एंड एवरी स्टेज कि कितने लोगों को बैग पसंद आया, तो कितने लोगों ने नो मोर पे क्लिक किया, कितने लोगों ने उसको ऐड टू कार्ट कर दिया, एंड फाइनली कितने लोगों ने उसको परचेज कर लिया. ठीक है, तो ये कुछ गोल्स हैं. अगर मेरा एक ब्रांड मोकोबारा जितना सक्सेसफुल नहीं है कि वो तुरंत ही सेल में कन्वर्ट हो जाए, सो व्हाट दे डू दे ट्राई टू इवैल्यूएट the brand's performance at each and every stage. कि इतने लोगों ने तो add to cart कर लिया ना, that means कुछ हद तक तो हम सक्सेसफुल हो गए. ठीक है, so this is how the DAGMAR model works. Now focus of DAGMAR, the communication objectives must be specific, that is clear and targeted goals, measurable, quantifiable outcomes, that is increase in the awareness by 30%. Progressive, one stage must be logical and leading to the next. ठीक है, so this particular for example, एक कोई मोकोबारा की जो ब्रांड एम्बेसडर है करीना कपूर. So Kareena Kapoor is at least leading me to that particular Instagram page to see how the bag looks. ठीक है, ये हो गई इनकी वन स्टेज. ठीक है, फिर करीना कपूर के साथ मैंने एक ऑफर भी जोड़ दिया, तो मैं उनकी वेबसाइट पे चली गई. उस ऑफर के जोड़ते ही मुझे अपने क्रेडिट कार्ड पे एक और अच्छा अमेजिंग ऑफर मिल गया. देन फाइनली आई एडेड दैट टू माय कार्ट, एंड देन फाइनली एक और एक्शन लिया मैंने और परचेज कर लिया. ठीक है, सो दिस इज the thing that how DAGMAR works. Okay, there are certain stages of DAGMAR as well. That is awareness, consumer recognizing the brand or product's name, comprehension, understands what the brand does and what benefit it offers, conviction, develops belief in the brand and a preference or emotional attachment, then action finally takes the final step, purchase, trial and subscription. All right, so these are some of the stages that DAGMAR model set. Now there are some of the key features of this particular model. The first one is goal setting framework. ठीक है, ये सब बातें I'm just going to hover over it because I've already told you, I've already explained you this. So what is the first thing? Goal setting framework. Act as a blueprint for advertiser to set clear objective. For example, increase product awareness by 40% among women aged 18 to 30 in metro city within 3 months. कितना precise इन्होंने framework set किया है कि भाई मेरा एक बैग है जो मैं चाहती हूँ कि महाराष्ट्र के या फिर गुजरात के इस पर्टिकुलर रीजन में फेमस हो जाए. So when I will do that particular thing, whenever their major festive season is happening, so I will target those customer at that particular time. ठीक है, so this is कितना exact उन्होंने set कर दिया. Then communication centric, not sales centric. It means the focus should be on the communication goals. So if I'm trying to reach a specific audience of Maharashtra, I will try to communicate them in Marathi. Or if I'm trying to reach to a certain audience in Gujarat, so I will try to communicate in Gujarati. तो ज़्यादा easy हो जाएगा. Helps bridge the gap between what the brand says and how the consumer responds. So just as I told you, करीना कपूर ने मुझे Instagram पेज तक पहुंचाया, एक ऑफर ने मुझे उनकी वेबसाइट तक पहुंचाया, एक अच्छे ऑफर ने मुझे add to cart करवा दिया. All right. So these are what some of the communication strategies that the brand use. And the third thing is outcome focus. Allow advertisers to measure effective through KPIs. ठीक है, KPIs की परफॉर्मेंस इंडेक्स होता है कि क्या किस तरीके का ब्रांड परफॉर्म कर रहा है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई एम सर्चिंग फॉर अ बैग और मैं बार बार बैग्स देखी जा रही हूँ, बट मैं घूम फिर के मोको 12 पे आ रही हूँ, तो एंड दैट मीन्स मुझे उस ब्रांड का नाम याद हो गया, एंड द ब्रांड इज ऑल्सो मैपिंग मी एज देयर कस्टमर. देन मैसेज कॉम्प्रिहेंशन. देन मुझे अचानक से एक मैसेज पॉपअप हुआ कि हाय पलक, वी सॉ यू स्नीकिंग इन द स्विगी अकाउंट, कैन यू लेट अस नो इफ यू वांट टू परचेज दिस पर्टिकुलर आइसक्रीम. ठीक है, ऐसा होता है ना. चेंज इन द एटीट्यूड एंड प्रेफरेंस. एंड देन फाइनली यू आर made sure to purchase that product, and purchase intent or actual conversion. कुछ भी नहीं हुआ तो ultimately they have added you to the cart, or they have shared your link, maybe to your husband, or maybe to your friend, or maybe to your brother ki please gift me this. Okay. Then strategic campaign planning, that is ideal for multi-stage campaign where each phase builds upon the last. That is the launch, education about the brand, persuasion, and then call to action. Okay, so these are some of the stages, and the brands try to strategically do this particular thing. Okay. The last theory that we are going to study today is Langer symbolic model of communication. So before we go ahead, I want to know if everybody understood the 3 models that I just described. Just let me know in the chat box if you were. All right, chalo, great. You want to go to the last slide? Here it is. Tell me, Simran, if you want to ask something. Clear? Okay. All right. You were noting down something. Okay. The last model that we are going to study today in advertising. Okay. it is Langer's symbolic model of communication. ठीक है. So it was proposed by Susan K. Langer in 1942. ठीक है, काफी पहले. The core idea was that the communication is not just about transmitting information. It's about expressing the meaning through symbols. These symbols helps to convey abstract ideas, emotion, cultural values, and identity. So, for example, इसको आप ऐसे समझो कि there is a designer brand, या फिर there is this clothing brand Masaba. I think you must have heard of that. It's a product of Masaba only, who is Neena Gupta's daughter. So वो क्या करती है, अपना हर collection को launch करती है with the very thought, with a thoughtful idea. ठीक है, वो उसमें कुछ ना कुछ symbol add करती हैं, उसमें कुछ ना कुछ ऐसे emotional connect add करती हैं ताकि लोग मजबूर हो जाते हैं उसको खरीदने के लिए. हालांकि वो the example is pretty new and pretty advanced, but ये model बहुत पहले आ गया था. Before these all the things happened, before all the things were happening. So या तो उनके प्रोडक्ट का कोई कलर बहुत पॉप होता है, या फिर उनके डिजाइन में कुछ बहुत डिफरेंट चीज होती है जो एकदम सबको अट्रैक्ट कर देती है, या फिर वो अपने एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स के साथ एक म्यूजिक ऐड कर देती है. इफ यू, आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू कैन रिलेट टू इट, बट देयर इज दिस पर्टिकुलर सॉन्ग कॉल्ड काला शाह काला, which is a traditional Punjabi song, but Masaba launched one of her clothing collection and launched री-इमेजिन वर्जन ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर सॉन्ग. वो सॉन्ग तो चला रील्स पे, और उनकी जो डिजाइनर रेंज थी वो चली स्ट्रीट्स पे. ठीक है, सो मेनी ऑफ देम वर स्टार्टेड परचेजिंग मसाबा ब्रांड. ऑफ कोर्स इट इज प्रीटी एक्सपेंसिव, तो वो एक डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ ऑडियंस के लिए है, बट स्टिल एक पर्टिकुलर केपीआई उन्होंने अचीव कर लिया, दैट देयर सॉन्ग स्टार्टेड ट्रेंडिंग ऑन रील. सो ये भी एक तरीके का ब्रांड अवेयरनेस थी, एक तरीके का ब्रांड रिकॉल था. All right. Now the focus of the model highlights the symbolic nature of human communication, that every message, especially in advertising, is filled with symbol, images, colors, slogan, music, gesture, etc. For example, we still know that Amul has this particular girl that is associated with Amul. We know that एक जलेबी का ad आता था, धारा ऑयल का ad आता था, जलेबी something like that. वो बच्चे ने उस तरीके से करके बोला था कि it is still fitted in our mind. Okay, we know that पार्ले जी का जो पैकेट है वो इतना अलग नहीं हुआ, दे आर स्टिल यूजिंग द सेम कलर्स. ठीक है, सो दीज सिंबल डोंट जस्ट डिस्क्राइब रियलिटी, दे कंस्ट्रक्ट एंड इन्फ्लुएंस परसेप्शन. ऑलराइट. Okay, so this is some of the key features of the model of communication of language symbolic. The concept is, if we are speaking about symbol, it is the representation of something else, ideas, feelings, or values. So for example, if तो हम लोग जैसे हाइपर सिटी जाते हैं, हाइपर मार्ट जाते हैं, एंड देयर इज दिस ब्रांड ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर मास्टर शेफ. ठीक है, तो उस मास्टर शेफ ने जब उसको बनाया, वो क्रॉकरी तो एक बॉक्स में मिल रही है, उस बॉक्स के ऊपर उसकी स्टोरी भी लिखी हुई है. ठीक है, दे आर ट्राइंग टू इनकलकेट द स्टोरी ऑल्सो, दे आर ट्राइंग टू सेल द इमोशनल क्वेश्चन ऑफ द स्टोरी एज वेल. ठीक है, देन मीनिंग मेकिंग, ऑडियंस इंटरप्रेट्स सिंबल्स बेस्ड ऑन कल्चरल एंड इमोशन एसोसिएशन. सो अगर उसने लिख दिया that I was born and brought up into a very small town of Rajasthan, then me being a Rajasthani will definitely make sure कि मैं एक दूसरे राजस्थानी की चीज ले रही हूँ. So why? Because और उसने ये भी लिख दिया कि भाई मैं इस प्लेट में दाल बाटी खाता था, तो ऑटोमेटिकली वो एक कनेक्शन बन जाता है, and you are tend to purchase that particular product. Okay, then non-literal communication, symbols go beyond word. उसने नहीं बोला कि भाई मैं राजस्थानी हूँ तो तुम राजस्थानी अगर हो तो तुम मेरा परचेज कर लो, बट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट इमोशनल क्वेश्चन ऑफ दैट कल्चरल रिलेटिज्म, तो इसलिए यू गो बियॉन्ड द वर्ड्स एंड यू परचेज इट. ठीक है, दे इवोक मूड्स, दे इवोक इमोशन, मिथ्स एंड आइडेंटिटीज. ठीक है, सो दिस इज व्हाट नॉन लिटरल कम्युनिकेशन दैट सिंबल्स डू. Okay, this is it. Today we have studied about the 4 models of communication. I hope the things were clear to you. If yes, let me know so that we can move forward with the quiz round. Can we? All right. Chalo. I want everybody to be on the chat box so that you can answer the questions. So the first question is, the IDA model of advertising stands for, tricky one, ध्यान से पढ़ना, action, interest, decision, attraction, attention, interest, desire, action, attention, interest, demand, action, awareness, information, decision, action. Yes, तो correct answer is B, attention, interest, desire, action. बहुत carefully अपने options को पढ़ना whenever this is going to be in the exam, क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई 12:30 एग्जाम स्टार्ट हो रहा है और आपने 11 बजे आइडा पढ़ा है, बट ये हो सकता है कि 12:30 पे आप उस चीज को कंफ्यूज भी हो जाओ, क्योंकि यू आर ऑलरेडी फेसिंग सर्टेन क्वेश्चंस, तो आप कंफ्यूज होने के पूरे चांसेस रहते हैं. दैट्स व्हाई मेक श्योर दैट यू रीड योर ऑप्शंस वेरी वेल और 2-3 बार क्रॉस चेक करना. Next question. Dagmar model is primarily used to create product packaging, define communication goals in advertising, analyze media ownership, or evaluate journalistic ethics. Yes, it's defining communication goals in advertising. Very good. Which model explains advertising effect through cognitive, affective, and conative stages? SMCR, hierarchy of effects and model, uses in gratification theory, hypodermic needle theory. Yes, hierarchy of effects model. Clear. Very good. Next question. Symbolic communication is best represented in advertising through news headlines, political debates, logos and taglines, or editorial content. Symbolic communication is best represented in advertising through, yes, very good, logos and tagline. क्योंकि आज भी हमें ध्यान है कि ठंडा मतलब कोका कोला. Or maybe you can also help me with the examples. If I run short of the example, you can also help me कि आपको कौन से utterly butterly delicious Amul and तन की शक्ति मन की शक्ति बॉर्नविटा. तो ये मुझे अभी भी याद है, ये ऐड कहीं आते नहीं है, but it was played in such a manner. The symbolic relativeness वो देखो आप. ठीक है. Okay, that's it for today's session. I really enjoyed the session because this is one of my favorite topic. That's why I go with the flow. I hope each and everyone enjoyed. And is there anything that you didn't understand? So let me know so that I can clear the doubts for you.